Well, I'll say this, and I'll end it with this. I recently interviewed Michael Jai White.
Right. Shout out to Michael Jai White. You know, I met him before, right?
Oh, you met him?
Yeah, I met him, and he was like, you know, I didn't even know he interviewed for you.
Yeah, he's a regular guest.
And he was like, yo, you know, Vlad, whatever. And he was, from what I've seen, he's a stand-up dude.
Very much so. Right. One of my favorite people. Mm-hmm. And before I say this, I just want to preface it with Michael spends a lot of time in Asia, speaks very highly of you know, Asian people, Chinese people, and so forth. His movies do very well in Asia, you know, because they're all action films, fighting films, and so forth. But he brought up an interesting point. He said, white people oppose BLM, Black Lives Matter, and would say all lives matter. But you haven't really heard anyone say, when it comes to stop Asian hate, stop all hate.
But I want you to notice one thing, that stop Asian hate, you go, okay, similar to Black Lives Matter, right? But what's different? There's no white opposition to stop Asian hate at all. You don't hear anything. If for the history of Black people trying to stand up for each other, for the history of saying Black is beautiful, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Well, wait a minute. No, all lives, stop Asian hate. Okay.
Yeah, no one's saying...
Nobody's saying stop all hate.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think it's an interesting point. What's your take on that?
I would say that, you know, I would say that he has a point. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I would say that he has a point. And I would say that that just shows where our country, like, you know what I mean? That shows, that's just you know, another like, you know, sign of where our country is, you know what I'm saying? And what our country was and what our country is now. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, I didn't even look at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's an interesting point because stop all hate just sounds stupid when you say it.
Right.
Whereas all lives matter, some people feel that's a perfectly valid statement. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It just shows how when it comes to minorities, certain minorities do get treated worse than others. And I feel like Black people in this country get the short end of the stick in terms of minorities.
You know what's crazy is ever since I started talking about, you know, the Asian matter, right? And I was one of the first to do it. I'm gonna pull a Vlad right now. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. You were one of the first. Definitely,
I was one of
definitely the hip hop community.
Right.
Yeah.
I was one of the first. I was one of the first Asian, you know, with a platform to kind of like say, yo, but there was other people talking about it, but like in a manner that I did, I was the first. You know what I'm saying? One of the first. So I feel like that. Wait, what was I saying? I kind of lost.
You were one of the first Asians.
But what was your question that led me to say that?
How Black people get the short end of the stick.
All right. So now, I was one of the first people to speak up about the Asian situation, like, you know, our dilemma here, right? And I was kind of early to it because when I first started, it was just starting. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was around the time when Trump did that. But, you know, things take time to trickle down. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that, that's when I first responded. And then, you know, at first people were like, you know, celebrities didn't even want to, you know, they weren't trying to jeopardize their position in whatever, you know, it was to speak on it, right? So they didn't. A lot of them didn't. Some people did. Like, shout out to Daniel Wu, shout out to Jin, because these were people that immediately, you know, did that first, right? But there's a lot of people that didn't. And then as I've been speaking about it, I see a lot of Asian people like, you know, well, a lot of these attacks are happening because a lot of these attacks are happening from the Black community, right? And they're like, you know, well, you know, Black people have been here, and you know, Asian people come from third world countries. We come here with nothing. We come here with, you know, with $10 in our pocket, and we're able to, you know, change. We're able to like build something, and we're able to like, like become successful. Why are Black people not? Why is that still a problem? Why is that like, why are so much crime happening over there? And why are they still like robbing people and doing that when they've been here for way longer than us? And right. So my take on that is, yes, Asian people come here with nothing. When we first came here, we came here with shit. We came here with nothing and we turned it into something, but we came here with everything. Why I say we came here with everything is we came here with culture. We came here with tradition.
Mm-hmm.
We came here with fucking generations of shit passed down to us that we don't know, but our parents teach it. Like, we're Chinese people, Asian people are very big on culture, on like, giving our kids what was passed down to us from generations.
Right.
From
except for Jackie Chan, who's not going to give his kid anything. But go on.
Right. but I think Jackie Chan.
I'm joking.
But I think Jackie Chan gave him enough in here that he can go get his own. You feel me? So now, when you look at the African Americans, right, the Black people here in America, right, they don't have that. You know what I'm saying? They were stripped of it.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta look like slavery was how long? It was relatively.
400 years ago.
Right. But when was abolished? So it was like that. What they got is they were stripped of their language.
Oh, sorry, 200 years ago.
Right.
I'm tripping. 200 years ago. Yeah.
They were stripped of their language, stripped of their culture.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to speak their language to do. So everything that they received was from the slave master, was from that. Right. So now, when and it's gonna be all bullshit that they're getting, right? So now they're fighting out of that whatever it is, right? That coma, you would say, like whatever was put onto them. So there's a difference. It's not the same. And you have to look at it the way our country has, like you gotta look at how our country is set up. You know what I mean? Prison is you can buy stocks in prison. You know what I'm saying? Prison is a business. It's not there to reform. It's not there. It's there to punish, and it's there to fucking make money. Like people make money off of prisons.
Yeah, and you really can't ignore the fact that more Americans are scared of Black people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But that's that.
Asians are viewed as less threatening.
Right.
To people. There isn't the history. Asians were not actual slaves in this country and considered subhuman. You see what I'm saying?
No, we were considered subhuman.
Asians were brought over to, like, let's say, work on the railroads and everything else like that, but they were never made actual slaves and considered animals in the process.
We were considered animals. Because
not on the same level as Black people.
No,
you can't say that.
No,
I'm not saying you guys had equal rights throughout. You cannot say.
I'm not here to compare or none of that.
What I'm saying is,
we were looked at. You were
looked at as less than white Americans. I get that, but Black people were literally looked at as subhuman. Like, these are not actual human beings. These are just low-level, high-level animals. Like,
they looked at us like that too, but they just looked at us like they looked at us like that too. But they treated us differently.
Yeah, they treated you differently.
They treated us differently because of our skin complexion, number one, and because of our submissiveness. You know what I'm saying? But they still didn't look at us like human.
If they looked at you as submissiveness, they would have made you guys slaves as well. You see what I'm saying?
Right, but
Asians were never slaves in America. Let's just put that out.
They weren't slaves in America, but they were indentured servants. Yes. And it was just different how they were brought over here, right? It was just different how they were brought over here. But what I'm saying is, Asians was looked at like subhuman. Asians, you gotta look at, you see all of the propaganda that was being pushed. We were looked at like fucking devils, like animals. You gotta look at the cartoons that they drew of us. They made us look like fucking like the devils. Like, they made us look like, you know what I mean, like that. And the Chinese Exclusion Act, all of the, they had all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I'm not here to compare. Like I said, I'm not here to compare the struggle of the Black people in America and the Asian people in America, but we also have our fair share of struggle. You know what I'm saying? We have our fair share of struggle. You could Google it, bro. We've been here and we was treated like shit. We was treated like shit. They killed us. They rounded us up. They had signs, no Chinese here. You know what I'm saying? They were the people were mad because the Chinese were willing to work for lower wages, and that shit got people mad. That shit got people mad, and it got people to round people up, kill them, hang them, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And again, you know, that's not to say that, you know, we're not comparing here. We're just saying that, yo, we have to look at how America has treated the people from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's really changed. I mean, it's changed certain parts, you know what I mean? But the underline of it, the base of it really is still the same. You know what I'm saying? Because there's still a lot of, you know, and I feel like the way that America, you know, the model minority myth, right? How we're looked at like,
yeah,
you know,
the model minority. Yeah, Asians are considered the model minority.
Right.
Very interesting phrase, by the way.
Right.
Model minority.
Well, what do you think about that?
It's basically saying y'all aren't really minorities. That's basically what it's saying. It's saying y'all are minorities, but you don't have any of the downside of a minority. You see what I'm saying?
I think it says
that's what that phrase means to me. Do I agree in that? I mean, minority is a minority. I mean,
I think it says that the Asian people, hey, Black people, you guys are supposed to be more like this. You know what I'm saying? You guys are supposed to be more like them. They can come here, they just be submissive, mind their business, don't make too much fuss, and they can be successful, right? And they hold it up like this, right? But in the actuality, you know, the struggle is different. You know what I'm saying? Because what's done to the Black communities hasn't been done to the, you know, it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like they use that to pit people against each other, to make people, to create more of a divide, and also to kind of like justify their fucking fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I think a lot of Asian people buy into that. A lot of people buy into that. And now, after, you know, now that this shit is happening, it's like, what the fuck happened? Well, you know, what happened was, we're really not that different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.